What's up? What's up? What's up? It's that time of the show where we kind of give a shout out to our sponsors. The sponsor today is Anchor. Anchor is everything you need to create your own podcast. You can use Anchor to distribute your show. They'll kind of get it out for you. And all you have to do is do it from your cell phone or your microphone, however you want to do it. But if you want to get your voice out there, if you want to talk to the people, there's no better place to do it than Anchor. So download the app, Anchor, or go to their website, anchor.com. It'll distribute your podcast on all platforms. So again, Anchor. Shouts out to our sponsors. Luxury Apex is sponsoring this segment. LuxuryApex.com is where you can find the most premium colognes and fragrances for women and perfumes for women for great prices. Luxury Apex has premium colognes and perfumes from Chanel, from Tom Ford, also from Dior. And just for you listening to our podcast, You Can't Play Boxing, they got a special promo code for our listeners. If you type in the code Can't Play Boxing 25, you get 25% off from any item on the site. Luxury Apex includes free shipping, so give them a shout, man. LuxuryApex.com. Premium fragrances, top-notch designers. Let them know that You Can't Play Boxing sent you over there. Again, promo code is Can't Play Boxing 25. What's happening, y'all? You Can't Play Boxing podcast. We back. Episode 58. Yeah. Let this ride real quick. Rest in peace, young Dolph. Woo. Alright, so like I said before we get into anything real quick, I want to send a rest in peace to young Dolph and have a little moment of silence real quick. He was gunned down in Memphis a couple days ago. So let's have a moment of silence real quick. Rest in peace, young Dolph again. Man, sad situation, bro. Sad situation. You know, over my time, you know what I'm saying, I used to travel through Memphis frequently, you know what I mean? Like, I lived in St. Louis, so I traveled to Memphis. Shit, I would go to Memphis at least a handful of times a year, some years, you know what I'm saying? So I know Memphis to a certain extent because I've been in Memphis probably 20 some times, you know what I'm saying? Spent many nights in Memphis, you know? And you know, Memphis is a spot, it's kind of like, it's a different spot because like it got that culture, it got that southern situation, you know what I'm saying? And you know, like people were saying, bro, Memphis is a town, it's 75% black, you know what I'm saying? It's a medium-sized city, but it's the biggest city in that region, you know, in that Mid-South right there. You don't get another big city till you go to St. Louis, and then shit. And then if you're going the other way, you know, you don't get another big city till you go to like Nashville or New Orleans, you know what I'm saying? So it's the biggest thing for like the next 4 hours, you know? And you know, Memphis, bruh, you know, of course you got North Memphis, you got South Memphis, and Dolph is from, you know, South Memphis, and you know, I don't know the situation, bruh. I will say this: all the motherfuckers saying he shouldn't have been in the neighborhood, he going to get cookies, my nigga. Like if he can't go get cookies, now don't get me wrong, anything can happen anywhere, cause shit could happen in downtown Memphis anywhere. But if a nigga can't go get cookies, you know what I'm saying, like. what we talking about? You know what I'm saying? Why even live? You can't go get cookies. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't saying like, I don't know the situation he was in. I don't know what he had going on. I don't know none of that. But I'm saying is like, if you at a point in your life where you can't go to the store because you feel like if you go to the store, you gonna die, then you got to reevaluate some things. I don't know if that's where he was at, but I just want, like I said, I don't even want to get into that for real. I wanted to say rest in peace to Young Dolph. Definitely was a fan of his music, you know. I don't know the situation was going on. Maybe we find out the truth. Maybe we won't. I really don't have any confidence that the truth is going to come out. It might come out. I figure people know, but I don't know. And you know what I'm saying? I'm not confident that we totally will know, but just a sad situation. And I don't want to bring down the episode, so I'm going to get off of that real quick. Man, we went straight into the episode, but we didn't talk about the house cleaning real quick. So, number one, check us out on Instagram. That's at You Can't Play Boxing. That's UCANTPLAYBOXING. You can also check us out on all these platforms, Spotify, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, man, anywhere you listen to podcasts on a major level. You know what I'm saying? We're doing it in a major way. So also catch us out on YouTube, catch us out Twitter. Man, You Can't Play Boxing. So check us out all those places. And, you know, we do appreciate everybody for rocking with us. I mean, send emails. We're going to do some more listener emails. Probably not this episode because we got a jam-packed episode. But, you know, check us out. Email us at youcan'tplayboxing@gmail.com. You know what I'm saying? So we do read listener emails, and we will do that. So in boxing, period, bro, we had a big weekend. You know, I'm excited about this weekend. There was some good fights we had. Boo Boo, you know what I mean? Demetrius Andre. We're going to talk about his fight, talk about what's next for him. And then, of course, we had the fight last night. Oh, man. Terrence Crawford versus Sean Porter. I did not fly to Vegas for the fight. I had a lot of stuff going on out here in the Bay. Plus, we got Thanksgiving coming up. So, and I got family coming in town. So, excuse me. So I didn't fly out. But, shit, bro, that was an awesome fight. It's a lot of stuff to talk about. It's a lot of things to talk about that fight. So we're going to definitely dive into that real quick too. But what we're going to do real quick, we're going to take a quick break. Then we'll get into like the boxing. So be cool for a few minutes. Be right back. Yeah, what's happening? You Can't Play Boxing Podcast, back episode 58. Whoo! Had a lot of boxing this past weekend, bruh. We're gonna dive right into it. On Friday, we had a big, well, I'm gonna say big fight. We had a meaningful fight, you know what I'm saying? We had my boy Demetrius Andrade, you know what I'm saying, fighting in New Hampshire, I think the fight was? Yeah, New Hampshire. So he was fighting Quigley, you know what I'm saying? And shit, bro. I expected him to put on performance, but I didn't expect him to knock him out in the second round. And I think Quigley said he broke his jaw or something in the first round. So for all those people who talk about Demetrius Andrade, he's a boring fighter, he doesn't have any power. Dude has power. Number one. Number two, he has ring IQ a little bit. He has ring IQ. I ain't gonna say a little bit. He has ring IQ. And he has footwork. And he has a jab. So for all those people say, he is a horrible fighter. He's not a horrible fighter. If he was a horrible fighter, he would not have kept his belts as long as he has. Because in boxing, if there is a paper champion who has a belt, motherfuckers swarm him like sharks, you know what I'm saying? They get that easy championship off of him real quick. The real fighters will say, okay, he ain't real. Let me go, give me that belt, bruh. Let me go and get you in the ring. So for him to still have his belt, that number one let you know. And then the eye test number two lets you know. And then number three, people ain't trying to fight him for, if he was an easy fight, they'll hop the fuck over there and get that belt real quick. That's not the case. So Andrade, he knocked him out second round. I think Demetrius Boo, bro, he been that dude. I don't know if he would have beat Canelo. I don't think he'd beat Canelo right now because Canelo's size. However, I have him. To me, it's between him and Triple G as far as him, Triple G, and Charlo. I think either one of them can beat each other depending on the style matchup. Me personally, I think Charlo is not an easier fight. It's an easier style matchup for Andrade than Triple G. I think Triple G he has more wear and tear on his body, and he's close to 40 years old. So I don't know how much he has left over, but I think Triple G, to me, as far as what would be next for for Andrade, I think Triple G would be a good fight stylistically. But I think the fight, if he could just pick his fight, I think the first fight I would do would be Munguia, because Munguia is young. You know what I'm saying? He gonna come with that pressure a little bit. He's getting stronger, and he can take a punch too. So I think a fight like against Munguia, who we just saw Munguia fight Gabe Rosado in a good fight. It was an action-packed fight. I think, of course, Munguia won that fight. I had him winning like 116, 112, 117, 111. It was a good action-packed fight, but he gets hit a lot. And I think him fighting Boo Boo would be a good fight because he's gonna come. Well, it looks like he come with the power. He comes with the volume punching. He'll make Boo Boo use his footwork. Also, he'll make Boo Boo use the power that he does have to keep him off of him, his jab. So Boo Boo will be able to display more skills fighting Munguia, especially Munguia being a younger fighter. We would get to see more of the tools that Boo Boo has in there, and the tools maybe he doesn't. It would be a good test. Say, okay, we got this guy in front of you. What can you do to solve him? So I would like to see that Munguia fight first. And then to me personally, if he's able to be Munguia, fight Triple G, you know what I'm saying? And Triple G is getting older, but Triple G, I think, will still be a good culmination fight. If you can pass that Munguia test, Triple G is a good exam, a good final exam, you know what I'm saying? Especially for that mainstream level. And that would be a good fight. And then I think fighting Charlo, and Boo Boo, I think style-wise, it may produce like a somewhat boring fight. I would give the edge to Boo Boo. However, I wouldn't be surprised if Charlo win. I just think style-wise, that fight might be somewhat boring. So Boo Boo look good. I think he's one of the top middleweights. Fuck all the hype that says he's not. That's propaganda. I'm gonna let you know that's propaganda for sure. That's propaganda. So don't be fooled by that shit. You know what I'm saying? He kept that WBO belt for a reason. If he was an easy mark, they would have been took that strap off his ass real quick. Any other fighter would have. So we got the Boo Boo fight out the way. Let's dive into this Crawford versus Porter fight. Man, the fight itself, great fight. Great fight. I think that first round, Terrence Crawford, not in first round, first 5 seconds, Terrence Crawford knew what it was. You know what I'm saying? Sean Porter came across the ring, first 5 seconds. Hey, motherfucker, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? So, first round, gave it to Porter. Second round, that was a close round, a good round. It's a swing round. At the second round, you either have it 1-1 or you got a 2-0 for Porter. I wouldn't be mad either way. It was a very close round. Then, we get to round 4. That was another close round. After 4 rounds, to me, I had it even. But I can see somebody having it 3-1 Porter after 4 rounds. You know what I mean? A couple of those rounds are very close, And then, we get into the fight, and I see Bud he's starting to gain this leverage a little bit because Porter was pressing him, but around round 5, Bud started to get the distance more because I don't know if you know this. I mean, if you're in boxing, you probably do know this. But Terrence Crawford has freakishly long arms. He got a 74-inch reach. That means a 6-foot plus reach. Motherfuckers who got a 74-inch reach, usually they 6'1", 6'2". Bud is like 5'8", fighting at welterweight. You know what I'm saying? With 74-inch arms. You know what I'm saying? You don't see that. And so if he's able, the reason I bring that up is because if he's able to capture that space and put that leverage on the shots, he can tattoo your ass from the outside real quick if he get that distance. And if you coming in, he can make it look. I knew there's gonna be spots in this fight where he make it look crazy. And he started to get the distance in round 5. They were trading rounds to me. You know what I'm saying? I had it 76 after 8 rounds. However, again, like I was telling the people I was talking to during the fight, I was like, hey, I got it even. However, I can see some people have it at 5-3 Porter if you give him benefit of the doubt on the close rounds, or even 6-2 Porter if you give him all the benefit of the doubt. You know what I'm saying? I don't see, anything more than that. But round 9, that's when I saw Bud do what I thought he was going to do at some point in this fight, which was tag him from the outside. To me, round 9 was his best round, a most clear-cut round. He was really showcasing what he was about. And, he did his thing round 9. But there were a lot of close rounds in that fight, you know what I'm saying? So, speaking of close rounds, I don't know if you guys saw this, but however, right before round 10, in the corner, his corner was telling Bud, people in the crowd was telling Bud, hey, he up. He was like, he up how? You know what I mean? Because in his mind, like, I'm not getting hurt, but Sean Porter will outwork you where you don't have to be hurt. However, the judge see that work and you don't get that round. So he was like, I'm down. Now again, this is before round 10. Excuse me. This is before round 10, right? So after round 10, before round 10, he'd tell him that. And Crawford said, bet. You know what I'm saying? I'm down. Okay. Let me come out of round 10 and let me show y'all. What he do in round 10? He dropped Sean Porter on that first knockdown. As Sean Porter was coming in, he did a left uppercut. power in both hands. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm getting at. He got power in both hands. Dropped him as he come down. And Shawn Porter, I'm going to get into Shawn Porter in a second. Because I want to really dissect. We'll have a lot of time to dissect this whole Shawn Porter thing. And then he dropped him again like about another 45 seconds later. And then at that point, now, don't get me wrong, this fight was close. Like I said before, I had it going into round 10. I had it 86-85 for Crawford. However, I can see somebody having 86-85 for Porter. And, you know, if you want to give Shawn Porter every benefit of the doubt, I can see somebody having it 87-84 for Porter. So that's going into round 10. So he drops him twice, right? And Shawn Porter, he's not really, he got dropped. So, of course, you know, he not 100%, but he not hurt. He really mad at himself for getting dropped, for real. He not really like saying, he not woozy. He not just, you know. However, you know, Terrence Crawford is one of the best finishers. But, you know, he dropped him twice. He's not out of it, to me. However, you know, Shawn Porter, trainer and manager, is his father, and his father threw in the towel. Now, me personally, I thought that was a premature stoppage, especially coming from your corner in a close fight, because me watching the fight, now I'm watching it at home. I'm not in the arena, you know what I'm saying? However, me watching the fight, you don't know how these judges are scoring it because it's a lot of close rounds. So if I'm in that corner, you know, I might think Terrence Crawford is up one round. I might think my son is up one round. I might think my son, if I get my son getting the benefit of the doubt, I think my son's up 87-84. But you know, I'll say this about the stoppage. I wasn't really mad about the stoppage. I was mad. I was more puzzled by the comments that were made by Shawn Porter's father after the stoppage. I give him the benefit of the doubt because that's his son. He in the arena. He knows his son. So even though I felt it was premature, I gave him the benefit of the doubt during the actual stoppage. But the comments, I'll let y'all listen to it. We'll come right back real quick.
Obviously, not the way you wanted the fight to end. What are your thoughts on your father stopping the fight?
No, he's doing what he knows he needs to do. I didn't expect that. We never had a conversation about that. We just kind of always had a unspoken understanding that if he sees what he needs to see, he's going to do what he did. I didn't expect it.
Did you feel that you were in a condition to continue in this fight?
Yes. The punch that he was catching me too clean, and I think that's what my dad saw. I saw it, I felt it, and I just think that my timing was a little off. Great fighter over there, wouldn't allow me to catch my rhythm. That was my game plan going in, not to allow him to catch his. He's a dynamite dude, in and out of the ring. Congratulations.
It was a typical Shawn Porter fight. It was competitive. The judges had it very close until the stoppage came in the 2 knockdowns. But you are the only man who has been in the ring with every welterweight of consequence, every welterweight champion of this era. Where do you place Terrence Crawford?
I knew you'd ask who's the best out of everybody I've been in the ring with. There's no doubt that man, I think, hit me more than anybody I've been in the ring with. He was on point, A through Z. The competitor in me, man, won't stop looking at him, wanting to fight him again. He's that good that I want to do it again. Congratulations, but
what makes him special, different?
You know what? He's got it, and I said that multiple times in interviews, inside and outside of the ring. He just has that, on Jerry Maguire, they call it the Quan. That's what he's got. So good for him.
Now, Kenny, I know that's the toughest decision for a father or a trainer to make. What prompted you to stop the fight tonight?
Honestly,
you to stop the fight tonight?
Honestly, his preparation. He didn't prepare like I wanted him to prepare. So that's just, that just makes me say, you know what? I don't want him in that situation. He fought a great fighter. The guy's super sharp, and he's at a deficit. It's like fighting this guy blindfolded, and you're in a deficit like that. So I wasn't going to let that happen to him.
He looks in great shape, but only you knew what happened in the gym. How would you have liked for him to prepare that you didn't see?
Well, I mean, when the guys get to certain levels, they believe they know what they're doing, and they don't necessarily take all the information. So, this is where we at with it, and I had to make that decision. It's an easy decision for me. It's easy. He lives right across the street from me. I'll be having breakfast with him in the morning. It's easy.
Andre Ward said you didn't stop it because of what happened there. It was about what you were.
All right, y'all. So y'all heard the interview. Sorry for some technical difficulties during that too, but you heard the interview, right? So, man, I did not like that post-fight interview, bro. So I played all of it because I wanted to show the contrast. You know what I mean? So, first off, the first part of the interview, Bernard Osuna, you know what I mean? He interviewed Sean Porter. He asked Sean Porter about his dad stopping the fight. Did you notice what Sean Porter did? Now you can tell, that he didn't want his dad to stop the fight, right? He didn't want this. He didn't want his dad to stop the fight. But what he do? He say, "Nah, that's my dad. He saw something. He saw something probably that I didn't see. We never had that conversation, so I was surprised." But he didn't throw his dad under. He didn't throw his dad under the bus. He kept the level of respect for his dad in public. I'm pretty sure he didn't like it, but he kept the level of respect for his dad in public. What does dad do? First thing his dad do, nah, I stopped it because he ain't prepare right. Now, don't get me wrong. What his dad is saying, I'm pretty sure maybe Sean Porter didn't do everything his dad wanted him to do in preparation for this fight. However, after you threw the towel in on your son, big loss, a fight that he was into, after you threw the towel in, right? Not only you throw the towel in, you gonna in public say this man didn't prepare right after he just lost a fight. To me, bro, you can do it. He could have handled that a lot better. The respect that Sean Porter gave you in his post-fight interview, you got to give your son that respect as a man. You know what I'm saying? Even if you think that he didn't prepare, you take him to the back. You say, you know what? I saw some things in the fight. That's why I threw the towel, in the interview. And then you take him to the back, you say, hey, son, I threw it because I know you didn't prepare for this dude. I ain't want to see having more punishment. You don't bring that shit out in the crowd, in the ring. And you saw everybody responds like, that was a bogus ass response, bro. Like, everybody booed him because that was some bullshit, like, for real. You don't do that. You know what I'm saying? You don't do that. And and with me saying this, that is Sean Porter's dad. I can tell he loves his dad. His dad loves him. I know that. I can tell that's evident. And I'll say this too. Sean Porter would not be in this position without his dad. I believe that too. His dad pushed him. If you read and know anything about their relationship, his dad has pushed him his entire life to become the man that he is. Emphasis though, the man that he is. You feel me? Not the boy that he is. His dad has groomed him to become the man that he is. So treat your son like a man, bruh. Treat him like a full man. You know what I'm saying? Give him respect like a full man. Even if that's a situation, you feel me? I know he believes that he didn't prepare all the way. You don't tell that man, you don't say that shit after he just got lost, after he just lost one of the biggest fights that he was in because you threw the towel in. You don't say, you know what, I threw the towel in because you ain't prepared right in front of everybody. Why? That's the biggest part I had a problem with. It felt like there's some other shit going on. And I'm even dive deeper on the other shit I'm going on, because it didn't just stop there. You know what I'm saying? It didn't just stop there. And again, I don't like to really get into that part because it's outside of boxing. However, that other stuff played a factor into this fight. And we gonna dive into it. So Kenny Porter said that in the ring, right? Sean Porter goes back. He goes back. He has his medicals and all that. He gets checked out. Then he goes to the post-fight press conference, right? Sean Porter on the post-fight press conference, he announces retirement, right? But in his retirement, he says, I was thinking about this before the fight. No matter what happened, win, lose, or draw, I was going to do this. And I'm not going to say that Sean Porter is not telling the truth. I'm not saying he never thought about retirement. But in the back of my mind, if you thought about that, if you was going to retire, no matter what happened, instead of saying that you want to fight Terrence Crawford again, you would have been announcing your retirement, bruh. So in the back of my mind, I'm thinking like, okay, that shit that his daddy said in that ring, he had 30 minutes to replay. Like, damn, I was in that fight. Damn, he threw the towel in. Damn, he said that shit about me in the ring in front of everybody. Damn, I don't know how many more times I'm going to have this opportunity again. Fuck, bro. Like, this nigga really did that to me. But instead of him, like, directly addressing all of that, I think he did. Me personally, I'm speculating. I'm speculating to this. I'm just speculating. I'm putting stuff together. But instead of him directly addressing his father in that situation, I don't know what the dynamic they got going on. But instead of him doing that, I felt like he said, okay, I know what I'm going to do. Fuck it. I'm going to retire. I ain't got to deal with see what he do without me. You know what I'm saying? Basically. Because he said after he announced his retirement, his daddy didn't even know. He said his dad first time knowing about retirement was in that press conference. So he said, okay, in my mind, he like, okay, you gonna hit me with some shit in public, I'm gonna hit you with some shit in public. And if you watch, I ain't gonna play the retirement announcement, because really, if you watch it on YouTube, if you see Kenny Porter's face, his face is letting you know that was a surprise to him. And then it didn't stop there though. You know what I'm saying? They was doing a lot of passive aggressive shit from that fight. From when the fight was over, Porter and his daddy, they was going back and forth, not directly, passive aggressively. You had to watch it. So after that, then Kenny Porter says, yeah, I was going to throw the towel in. I had in my mind that I was going to throw the towel in even before the fight because I didn't like the way he prepared if I saw certain things. Now, I get that. You feel me? I'm not even saying he's wrong. That's his daddy. He in the gym with him all the time. Now, I know on different clips, he was saying that he wanted him to get consistent sparring, but he sparred like Caleb Plant. I know Caleb Plant is not Terrence Crawford. He sparred Anthony Durrell. He sparred Tank at the end. So I'm not saying I'm not saying he didn't have them thoughts to say, you know what, if I don't see the right shit, I'm going to stop this shit, because I think he was mad that Sean didn't give him what he wanted to get out of him. I have no doubt about that. I'm assuming that happened. I'm going to give him that credit for that. However, my thing is this. It's like, all right, you believe your son didn't give you everything he was supposed to give you, right? However, y'all still heading into this fight, right? So I think as a corner man, as a trainer, right, and as his father, you should be able to have that conversation with him like, hey, son, we here now. I don't think you gave me everything in training camp. However, we here now. But I'm letting you know, if I see certain things in this fight and it's not going our way, I'm going to be more quick to throw in the towel because of that, because I don't believe you gave me everything. Let him know that. Communicate that with your son. If that's the case, you know what I'm saying? Communicate that with your son if that's the case. He might fight a different fight. He might think he got a couple more rounds. He might think he up on the cards. Okay, I'm going to have the 11th, 12th round to at least fight again. You know what I mean? Like, give him that. He might fight a whole different fight the first 9 rounds because the communication is there. So I think there was a communication breakdown. Number one, that's clearly evident there was a communication breakdown. Clearly evident there was a communication breakdown. And, I was talking to somebody about, because they were mad about the Kyron Davis stoppage that he had against David Benavidez last week. And I was like, okay, you mad about that one. However, Kyron did the best he could. He fought his heart out. Everybody agrees he fought his heart out, right? Kyron Davis fought his heart out last week. He ain't win not one round. And Breadman was giving all of the communication. He was communicating to him like, hey, I don't like what I'm seeing. However, I'm gonna give you another round. Like, give me some more. I'm throwing the towel. He was communicating the whole step of the journey. As a fighter, you would want your dad, your trainer, to just let you know what they thinking so y'all can get on the same page. But if your dad thinking one way, you thinking another way, y'all bound to lose. And then especially when you fighting against another motherfucking world-class fighter who at the top of his game. So if you don't got that symmetry between fighter and trainer, you bound to fall. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the biggest thing. I know his daddy brought him this far. I know his daddy. I feel he love him. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Sean, the way I see him respond to him, I know Sean respects and love his dad too. But there was a communication breakdown and there's some other stuff going on. It's not my business to really care about the other stuff. But anybody looking at what happened post-fight, there was a breakdown in communication. There was a breakdown in communication and a respect level. To me, I'm not saying that Sean's dad don't respect him as a man, but I don't think he gives him that 100% respect as a man that he should receive. I think all the things Mr. Porter was saying, Kenny Porter was saying, there's truth in it. You know what I mean? I feel like there's truth in it. I just feel like there's a better way. And I think if you know those things, how you feeling, you as a daddy and you as a trainer, you got to communicate that with your son. Like, hey, son, I'm going to let you go in them up. However, if I see something crazy, I'm going to throw the towel in. Let him, you got to let him know that. If that's what you're thinking ahead of time, I'm not 100% sure that he thought that ahead of time. But if he did, that's even worse. You got to let your son know that. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of psychological stuff, happened in this fight. But we're going to get off that. Let's go to the winner, bruh. Terrence Crawford. He won the fight. He looked great. And that's another thing, too. Let me address these people who feel like perfection is required in boxing. Look, when you fight another world-class fighter, right? A guy who has been in the sport as long as you, who put the same amount of amateur hours, who got in the same neighborhood of skill that you have, or determination because he's on the same level. He's been a 2-time world champion. He's been a world champion or have world-class talent or have world-class determination. You are not going to look perfect fighting somebody like that every time you fight. You're going to lose rounds. You're going to get hit. It's going to happen in boxing. So when I see these fans, quote unquote fans, it's like, oh, Crawford looked exposed. He's fighting another world-class fighter who everybody has problems with. There's nobody that looks good, quote unquote good, against Sean Porter. I mean, the only person, probably the best person, and that was a earlier version of Sean Porter. I said the best person who had the most success to me and looked the best was on Kell Brook. You know what I'm saying? But Danny Garcia had problems with it. Keith Thurman had problems with it, even though he won. Errol Spence had problems with him, even though he won. So everybody who's a world-class fighter has problems with this dude. It's not expected for you to blow him out 12-0 or 11-1 or 10-2. He is, I just get blown away. And they're like, oh, Spence will eat him alive. Spence might eat him alive. But you can't say that because off of this fight, I don't believe that Spence eats him alive because I think Bud is a dog, Spence is a dog. And we'll talk about that fight if it gets signed. But yeah, man, perfection, greatness does not have to include perfection. Terrence Crawford had a great performance. He had adversity. He was able to figure it out. He was able to close the show. He was able to drop him twice. That's greatness on a world-class stage. That doesn't mean he was perfect, and he's not expected to be perfect. So, I mean, stop looking for perfect in boxing, bro. Like, that burns me up a little bit. Like, these guys are fighting guys who are training just as hard as they are, who coming for the same thing. They gotta be one winner, they gotta be one loser. And so Crawford won, he's undefeated, and his contract is up with Top Rank. He mentioned that in the interview, in the post-fight press conference. So he's gonna leave Top Rank. And I think you're looking at probably Errol Spence, Ugas or Keith Thurman. I think that's the only fights in 2022 that makes the most sense for him. But the eye test, everybody know Terrence Crawford is one of the best of this era. I don't have him as number one pound for pound. I have Canelo number one, but Crawford, I think he might have got a number two. He might have edged over Errol because Errol's been inactive. He's only fought like really 2 times in the last 3 years almost. So shout out to Terrence Crawford. Great performance. Came through with over adversity. Dropped Sean Porter twice. And one of the things about Sean Porter, what I was going to say, is that if you notice in Sean Porter fights, most of the times he's dropped in the later rounds. Even though he beat Adrian Broner some years ago. Adrian Broner, because he gets a little sloppy in the later rounds because of his style, Adrian Broner dropped him in the 12th round. Fighting against Errol Spence dropped him in the 11th round. Fighting against Terrence Crawford dropped him in the 10th round. Those later rounds, with that style that he has, he's coming in and he's leaving the door open a little bit wider than what he's not as tight as he is in the beginning of the fight. And he leaves that door open a little bit wider, and every time against the world-class competition and talent, they're able to drop him in them later rounds. Bud was able to do it twice, but Sean Porter's a great fighter. I mean, on talent alone, Sean Porter was probably a contender or a nationwide fighter. However, with determination, and let me reiterate this, with determination and his father, I want to reiterate that. He would have not his father maxed him out. He would have probably not gone as far. He had to do the work, but his father was the driving force behind that. He had to be the engine, but his father was the driving force behind that. He would have not got as far as he did without his father. So, shout out to Sean Porter. If he truly retired, he had a great career, nothing to be ashamed of. People with less talent didn't max out their career like he did. You know what I'm saying? And I always say this about Sean Porter. Sean Porter is the type of fighter where if you a truly world-class fighter, you're going to have a little bit more to get past them. But if there's any little flaw in your game, if you don't train as much, if you don't like it, if you get uncomfortable, Sean Porter going to expose that. And these guys who he fought all had talent. Like Devin Alexander had talent. Even more or just as much as Sean Porter. He lost. Adrian Broner had even more or just as much as talent as Sean Porter. He lost. Danny Garcia, same thing. Even more or the same amount of talent as Sean Porter, and he lost. And it's not because of the talent, it's because of the determination and the will to win and to make it uncomfortable. And that's what Sean Porter does. So I want to give him all the shout out to him. If you done, great career. So man, this was a great episode. great fights we had. Again, I want y'all to check us out on Instagram. You Can't Play Boxing. It's UCANTPLAYBOXING. Twitter, You Can't Play Boxing. Check us out. YouTube, website, everything. So Can't Play Boxing. Again, this is your boy, Electric Relaxation. You feel me, on Instagram. Also Timmy B. So, hey, until next time, y'all. Peace.